Hello everyone. Today we were talking about two examples how to use Flowise. Here is the Flowise UI, and there's also one public example in the marketplace. As you can see, here are all the examples they gave and how we can build the chat box and how to interact with the OpenAI. And here's the third-party API, and also how to use VectorDB. If you are interested in it, you can click any of these and build your own chatbot. So today we will use two examples to show how to build a LangChain model use Flowise. Here is the main design board. And if we click on this button, we can see all the components here. There's an agent, the chain, and the chat models, also large language model API. And also we have the VectorDB here. We have a Chroma, Pinecone. So first, let's get started and build one very simple chatbot. Use OpenAI API. So we need to firstly large language model. We use OpenAI, and we also need one prompts. So we need the prompt template here. And after that, we need a wrapper to combine these two together. That would be the chain, large language model chain. So here, firstly, we can connect them together, like the OpenAI and the prompt here. Yeah, that's the chatbot component. And after that, we can give the OpenAI key. So here is the OpenAI key, and also we have the prompt template. We need to give the template format. They already give one example. What is a good name for your company that makes product? The product is a variable that user input. So instead, we can use another template, like give a name for a school that teaches some kind of courses. So let's save it. After that, we also need to format the prompt values. They already have one example, so let's put ours. So the variable for our case is the courses, and the input would be, here is the question. So we can use the question here. Then let's save it. And after that, I think that would be it. Before we get into interact with the OpenAI, we need to save this chat flow. Let's see, it's test Flowise 1. Let's save it, and we can input any thing here. Let's say it's for dancing. Like for example, give a name for a school that teaches dancing. So let's get started. Dance Academy of the Art. Okay, that's pretty cool. Cooking, Gourmet Academy, or teach films. So Silver Screen Academy. I think that's a pretty good name. Okay, this is the first example. Very basic example show how to use Flowise, but mostly if we want to do use the LangChain or the Flowise, we want to interact with our local data, no matter it's PDF, Word, or JSON data. So the next example I will build is for how to use the Flowise interact with the PDF data. So let's get into a new design. So here would be, so before we get into this example, we need to input the data, input the PDF data. So the first module would be data loader. So here are different types of data loader. And for our case, we use the PDF data loader. So this is the PDF data loader. After we have the PDF, the next thing we want to do is split the data into different chunks. So we can use the text splitter. We choose the recursive character text splitter. After we have different chunks of data, of information, what we will do next is use the embedding, right? So the next step we will do is use the embedding. As we can see here are different embeddings, but for my case, I would choose Hugging Face embedding because your PDF might be very large, like a few hundred of pages. You don't want to use the OpenAI embedding because that will introduce some fee. Instead, I would use Hugging Face. And also, if you are not familiar with this, you can use Hugging Face embedding to play around first. After you have the embedding, you want to save the embedding into the VectorDB, and the VectorDB will do semantic search, right? So the next thing we want to choose is VectorDB. We can choose Chroma or Pinecone because I already have the Pinecone account. I would choose Pinecone. And also I want to mention that you can also use the PG Vector, that is Postgre free version in DB. What a Pinecone or what a VectorDB is doing here is it is a database to save the embedding. So every time when the user inquiry some questions, they will do semantic search. They will find the similarity in the knowledge base and find the similar content and send it to OpenAI or any large language model API and do your task. So here, the next stuff we can have is large language models. For example, we have OpenAI here. So this is a key component how we can interact with our local PDF. So before we get into the next step, we need to use one wrapper to combine them together. So the wrapper, of course, will be the language chain. So we put the retrieval QA chain here, and we can connect them together. So firstly, the text splitter, and after that, then the document will be into different chunks. Then afterwards, the embedding will do the embedding and save the data into the Pinecone. So the Pinecone should be connected to the VectorDB, and the OpenAI obviously is the large language model. So the next step will be the input file. So the input file is a survey of large language model. This is one of the latest publication for large language model survey, and we use it as our PDF. So we can do the search in this PDF. So we upload the PDF. For example, I already have it here. We just upload it. And afterwards, we need the API key for Hugging Face. So let's input a Hugging Face API key. And we also need to input the OpenAI API key. So if you don't have OpenAI API key, you can go to their website and get one API key. But now it might charge you some fee, but that's a very minimum. And also here is the Pinecone API key. We need to input the Pinecone API key. You can go to their website and upload one. I will put the link in the video below. So the Pinecone environment, this is the environment where they host their server. So the Pinecone environment, you can also get this one in their website once you get in. And the index name, I would like to see Flowise. So I think that's, yeah, let's save the example test Flowise 2, this second example. So let's do one search. So let's find something in the publication and the search. So, okay, ever since the Turing test was proposed in 1950s, we can see Turing test. Yeah, it might take some time because they need to save the embedding into the Pinecone DB. And I think after that, the first time it will take some time. Okay, then the searched Turing test. Turing test is mentioned in reference 3, which is Turing compute intelligence. In reference 3, let's go to reference 3 to see if there is reference. Oh, nice. So they can then figure out the Turing test, and they can also see in the reference 3. This is actually amazing, right? Yeah, like computing machinery and intelligence. Computing machinery and intelligence. That's cool. I don't even know the reference here. They help us figure it out. And let's see large language model, Llama to see if what they can provide for us. Llama, what is that? Oh, it's kind of like also in the reference. Okay, let's search this one. Let's search. It's a reference called Llama. Okay, here is Llama open and efficient fundamental model. Wow. So this is the example for the Flowise. So if you are from JavaScript JavaScript background, I highly recommend you take a look into this Flowise project because it's very very handy first of all, and you can also contribute to the repo. And if you have very strong JavaScript, or if you want to learn JavaScript or do any AI application, this is a very good project for you. There's another project like LangFlow, but that is building on top of Python. So for anyone who interested in building Python application, you can go to the LangFlow. Oh, I would like to see this is a very good project for us. And channel, we will constantly upload some tutorial for large language model training, inference, and also optimization. And we will also do some hands-on coding for the large language model. If you're interested in any of this topic, you can subscribe